Good morning, students. Welcome back to the service management class. As we discussed in the previous classes, right? So in the previous classes, we discussed about the one of the important components to measure the quality of the service, which is called a service, right? Service, what do you mean by service quality? Right. So as we have been the past few classes, we are discussing about what is called service and how service is very, very important. What kind of a services you can get it from the different service sector, right? All those things we discussed. And also we discussed about the what is the role of customers in getting a very good service. Okay. So in that cases, when the customers are receiving a service, right? So it is not in all the situation that every customers will get a very good service, right? You will get a very good service. When they are getting a service, there is a gap, right? There is a gap. Sometimes the gap arises, like sometimes it may not be fulfilled to your expectation. So to fulfill your expectation, okay, what are the different gaps, okay, or arises, and which gaps makes the people to feel dissatisfied when they're getting a service from the service provider? So that is what we are going to see the outline of what is called gap model, right? So it is one of the important model in service quality. It is one of the important model in service quality, right? So here, first important gap arises is knowledge gap. That means when the customers comes to your showroom or comes to your place, first you should identify what is their expectation. If the person who is involved in providing a service, if it is not having a knowledge or not able to understand the basic needs of the customer, it will be very difficult for the customers to fulfill. It is difficult for the service provider to fulfill the expectation. So because of this, there is a gap. That means you never understand what customers are needed. You don't have the basic knowledge to know their fulfillment. Because of that, you have started providing a service and you started doing your work on your own, okay, which makes that is a standard gap. So whoever comes to your showroom, whoever comes to your places, right, it is one of the important gap that arises. So once if you're not having a basic knowledge, there the knowledge gap arises. Because of that, it is a regular practices of the service provider to follow it and make it as a standard. And because of that, whenever you are delivering your services for customer one, for customer two, for customer three, there is a gap arises in your delivery. Same kind of mistakes, same kind of gap arises when you are delivering your service to the customer one, two, three. And because of that, the internal communication gap arises. That means you cannot able to promote in a proper way. You are not promoting the service to the customers in a proper way. That means whenever service is provided to the customers for one, two, three, all the customers are facing a same problem, right? So this gap will make the customers to bring changes in their perception, right? Perception gaps. Through the perception gap, the customer started, okay, giving a wrong interpretation or negative comments on your services, where the company's reputation will go. So through that perception gap, the customers will think that next time I will not get service from this particular showroom, or I'm not going to give my four-wheelers to this particular showroom. So they started interpreting in that way. This type of perception started changing. So because of that, what? The service that they are experienced. So finally, because of this, the service gap arises. So these are the 7 important gaps. So when the service provider is providing a service to the customer, ensure that the person who is in charge of providing the service to the particular customer, they have a very good knowledge. They understand what is the exact need, so that they can able to provide a very good service. So because of that, the delivery will be good, and then the communications will be improved. Through the communications, the customer's perception will be good. They will be highly satisfied. If they are highly satisfied, they started visiting your showrooms whenever they want the services. So this is what we are there in the gap model. So detailing we can describe, okay, we can have a discussion on each and every gap in the classes, and also we can have a video presentation, or we can discuss about the how the service quality or the gap model has been fulfilled by the hotel industry. Okay, so with this we will stop here. So the detailed descriptions about the gap model and analysis of gap model and service quality of the hotel industry we will discuss in the classroom. So with that, thank you.